Welcome to Business Success Tips, where you learn to make more money in less time and have a lot more fun. I'm your host, Paul Sanneman. I'm founder of Contractor Staffing Source. We help contractors build great teams. Today, I have the fortunate thing with 3 women. This never happens. I went to this like the first time in 600 podcasts this ever happened. It's 𝗦𝘂𝗃𝗃, Ry, and 𝗏𝗏𝗏. So what do you guys do? The company is Repurposed Educator. So what do you guys do?
Yeah, so I think a little backstory in order to understand our name is probably in order. So I grew up in the construction industry. My parents still own construction companies. They are more in the aggregate and trucking business. I was part of a generation that I was told not to join the construction industry, to move on, go on to college, do something else. So I went to school to be a teacher. I taught for 14 years. And while that 14 years was happening, I met my husband, and he was also in the construction industry in excavation. As things started to kind of change for me in education and feeling less impact, I was enticed by my husband to come back and run the construction company with him. As part of that, one of my biggest things was I said, I just don't love a lot of things about how the culture is in the construction industry. And so if I'm going to go on this endeavor with you, my only requirement is that we do professional development. He jumped out. He's like, yep, sounds great. Just come run the books. And he agreed to whatever. Probably not really fully realizing what exactly I had in mind for what that would look like. So as we started our own company, DW Companies in Minnesota, we started to do professional development. And because we shared a lot of what we were doing on our socials, we were starting to get a lot of inquiries from people saying, what are you doing? Where are you buying this curriculum? What exactly is going on there? And because we've never seen this anywhere else. And I'm like, well, we're a teacher. That's just what I do, and there's just a lot of curiosity. And so people encouraged us to start sharing our story and start, building something to help others. Meanwhile, we were just a few years into our own construction company thinking, this is crazy. We have no business doing this. So lo and behold, we ended up speaking at ConExpo, which is the largest construction trade show in Vegas that happens every 3 years, telling our story. And based on that, people wanted more. And so we have went back and we have started building tools and resources, peer groups, all sorts of things to help other construction companies do exactly what we were doing here at DW Companies. I have 2 other great educators that left education at the table here with me, and I'll let them have a little background.
Yeah, as Katie mentioned, I'm 𝗏𝘂𝗃𝗏𝗏, and I was also a former educator, more specifically in special ed. And at DW Companies,
contractors need special ed for sure, right?
I was specifically in behavioral special ed, so it's even better.
Right. Perfect.
So at DW Companies, my main role is social media and marketing. And like Katie, our backgrounds in education, and Erica will also share hers, but we all have professional development, coaching backgrounds, things like that. So when Katie had this idea to start Repurposed Educator, it was just this idea, right, at first. And as we started sharing, as she said, it has become something. And I think we each bring such a unique perspective to what we're doing, not only with Repurposed Educator, but within DW Companies. And our work within DW Companies keeps us grounded in what is going on in the industry. We are living and immersed in the construction world while we're still helping other companies get better at their culture and processes and things like that.
Yeah, and I'm Erica, as Ry mentioned, and Katie, also a former educator. I actually worked in the same school district as Katie. I worked there for 11 years and did in more of a coaching role and a professional development role as well, but left education 3 years ago now because I was losing the impact and the purpose, and joined a professional development here at DW Companies one day to see what Katie and Ry were doing, and fell in love with what they were doing with the impact, and moved over to this position at DW Companies, where in-house I work more with the small projects and residential side of things. And then for RE, I'm kind of the binder and the tech person behind everything online.
So question, how do you get guys to listen to you? I mean, I was a coach for like 40, I could, knowing what to do is one thing, doing what you know is entirely different. So how do you get people to actually change their behavior?
Yeah, it's that has been such a fun thing to watch our team kind of. I remember thinking back to our very first professional development day, and like we had to beg Steve, her husband, to let us do this professional development, trust us, we know it's going to work. My husband also works at DW, so we were both trying to get our buy-in and fake it till you make it, guys. If you guys are the leaders, and the rest of them are going to follow. Just give us this one chance. And our very first professional development day, we did kind of a deep dive into personalities, and it was so fun watching those light bulb moments of these dozer guys, these hard workers,
right,
collar men, learning something about themselves. And I think that activity alone created buy-in right away because they connected to it, right? So I think that's something that we try to do no matter who we're working with. We try to find a connection and something that we have, to build that trust and buy-in, just relating to them.
Ry always tells them, especially if we're out in companies outside of ours, she's like, I was in special ed. People flipped desks. They, wrote me really fun love letters on she goes, none of you scare me.
There we go. Now, obviously, you are women in a man's world, right? I mean, construction is dominated by men 90%. So how does that work? How have you been able to use it to your advantage? I mean, I use a joke that, women can get attention, but respect is a lot harder. So how do you pull that off and getting these guys to listen to you and actually do what you tell them to do as far as professional development goes?
I think that's a really good question. And I think it's all built on trust. And like Ry alluded to, is that when you start helping them understand human behavior and why people interact the way they do, and helping them, give them tools and resources, not only help them work better with their team, but coincidentally, they also work better usually with their spouses and
obviously, and their family and everybody else, right? It's something that a lot of guys will not.
So when they start learning about themselves, they start learning about how best to approach situations. It really starts making an impact on all facets of their life, and I think that's where you really start building the trust. You really start building the buy-in, and every time we have a professional development, it's just always amazing because people are so excited, so rejuvenated, so much more connected as a team because they've had that shared experience of learning together. And so we have made it a priority within our organization that we stop production. And we stop many times for the entire day. And we really, really dive into how to be a better team. And so the three of us spend an enormous amount of time researching and creating these experiences for them, so that they're high quality. And so the engagement is really high. It's not a sit and get. It's truly, we're interacting. We're teaching each other how to give feedback. We're giving feedback to one another. We're put into scenarios where we have to problem solve those scenarios in order to be a better communicator within your team. So we tell everyone, every single person here we look to as a leader. And because of that, you are going to have to lead at some point while you are here, whether you're a designated leader or not. You're going to be at some point on a site, maybe with a new team member, and you are going to have to know how to lead that individual, how to mentor that person, how to communicate with them. So we strongly believe in training all of your people to be leaders. That's a huge change or switch in most construction company structure, is that we only give that to the top tier, right?
Right. In my experience is, getting a guy to buy a tractor is easy. Getting a guy to spend money on personal development, they go, that's woo-woo fairy kind of stuff that I'm not
kumbaya,
interested.
man.
I'm sure you've had that, right? Like, I want something real. I want a tractor. I want a, something that I can see, touch, feel. Spending time on this, quote, personal development. What does that even mean? So when you actually do it, what responses have you got, and how have you got people to actually take time off work, quote, work, to work on themselves?
Yeah, so one of the things like at Repurposed Educator, we tell the leaders that we're working with is like, it has to come from you, right? Like, so we have an advantage in our own company at DW that like we're all natural leaders. And,
well, being the owner's wife obviously helps, right?
Right. Right.
Come on. That's some leverage for sure.
There's that, but it's also watching the people on our team also be leaders and take initiative and be those internal champions that we're talking about. But we never want to go into a company and be like, let's put on a professional development day for you and everything's going to be solved in your company. Like, we truly believe that we want to be able to give other companies the tools and the templates and the resources, the professional development slides, the training, all the things, so that they can take it and go into their companies and it can be from them. There's a different level of buy-in when it's coming from within versus hiring someone to come in and do it for you. Right. So I think that alone helps sell it because they can also see that is the truth, right?
And they're not only developing their team, they're developing with us as leaders. We're teaching them how to be good leaders. We're teaching them how to professionally develop their team. And I don't know about you, but when I have seen this time and time again, where we hire a consultant, they come in and they're going to fix all of our things. And there's this magic wand we think is going to happen. It happened in education all the time. And then as soon as they go away or their contract's done, so does everything that they put in place, because there's nobody there to continue that wheel.
Well, there's no buy-in. So what are some of the, I always say you need to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. So what are some of the tools that you get for that where they got the aha experience? Maybe they're right. What tools do you use to get the guys to recognize that this is really useful and will change their company?
Yeah, the first thing that we do with them, with anybody that we've helped, is personality color indicate them. So they really get to learn about who they are, how they tick, how they best communicate, what drives them crazy. So once they kind of get that sense of, holy crap, this is how I am, this is how I connect, and that's how so-and-so is, and this is why we're clashing a little bit, that really kind of grabs that buy-in, and that's how we do it to begin with.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do you do this in person, on the phone, on Zoom? What technology do you use to communicate?
We've done it in person, but we've also done it online through our Culture Academy, our cohorts online.
Yeah. The idea is that once we teach the people that we are consulting with or are in our peer groups, they then have all the tools, the background to go and deliver that to their team. And then they certainly can come back with questions. And it's not a one and done thing. This personality piece that she is referring to is the first step. It's buy-in because it helps people to start understanding human behavior and communication styles. So once that happens, then every single other professional development that we have developed in our curriculum is built back on those personality colors. I've done personality colors, or I've done different assessments of strengths and whatever. And then it's usually like this really cool thing, and you're like, oh, that was really fun. I learned a little something about myself, and then nothing happens beyond that.
Right.
Every single person in our team knows everybody's colors. Everybody understands like how each color works. In fact, one of our team members during a professional development raised his hand and he was like, hey, it would be a lot better out in the field if all of us wore on our hard hats our color stickers. And we were
that's
like,
a really cool idea, right?
Genius. And so that's now part of like once people are interviewed, they get color indicated as part of the interviewing process. And if they're hired, it's right on their helmet when they begin. And now, I mean, it's such a ingrained thing within our organization and, other organizations that we have helped implement this stuff, is that when they come to Steve or myself and they're going to start, bitching about something or someone, they will now come and say, okay, I already know they're agreeing and I know this and I know that, because that'll be the first question I will ask. I'll say, well, what do you know? What do you know about their color, or what is their color? Like, how is that maybe causing conflict, or what do you know about that color then that could help you best approach this? I mean, we've got to it drilled down so well that like there's reference stuff digitally as well as in our facility, where people can go and look at the color and they can look at the things that drive them crazy. Look at the things that, if you want to best approach them, these are the best ways to start, with a situation with that person, and start really literally teaching them from the beginning how to best communicate.
And when we've done our research, you research anything about leadership, that self-awareness is like the foundation of any great leader. So I think that's also why we start with the self-awareness, and we offer some self-awareness courses and resources and things like that, because we know that is the root, the foundation of really becoming an effective leader. And like Katie mentioned, like, everyone's a leader. Like, everyone is going to be a leader at some point, at some time on our job sites. Like, we recognize that, and that's why it's so important to us.
And when you start investing people at this level, they start seeing that you want better for them outside of just
So
work.
one question I have, this always comes up, is, like, show me the money, right? Well, this is really cool. I'm a better human being, rah, 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 but how is this going to produce money at the bottom line? Can you give me an example of somebody, company you worked with, how it shows up? Because I know, I'm a better human being, but I'm not making any more money. It sounds a little, terrible, but it's true.
We get that question a lot. And what I can tell you is that all of the implementations here at DW, we have 0 OSHA violations. We have 0 work comp claims in 5 years. So it's all in 5 years. We have not any of those things. We have not had,
Turnover is really low.
Turnover is very low. And then we also have a 20 to 30% profit margin. And in the excavation world, I would say average is 8 to 10.
Right. So now
I would just add too, like, when people understand and know about each other, they're going to take care of each other, right? So that means it's increased safety on the site. It means more accountability. People want each other to succeed, which leads to more production, faster production, things like that. So it kind of is a snowball effect on scalability and profitability.
And when you walk the talk and have the numbers to show it, they tend to listen to you a little bit more, and it proves it.
Mm-hmm. So, I also say, you provide a lot of staffing, and that's a huge issue with a lot of people that we work with. They just can't find people. We put an ad only on our Facebook page. We'll have 200 applicants over a month of posting it, because people want to be here so bad, and they've seen what we have done with our culture, how we invest in people, how we invest in our community. And we're the place to be sought out rather than just a job. They know it's a career here. And from a staffing recruitment, I spend $0. I don't even put an ad on Indeed. Facebook post is all I need.
Okay. So tell me how this program actually works. Let's say with a $3 million renovation company. So how do you start to engage with them? How do you keep engaged with them? And what does it cost?
Let's see, America. Peer groups.
Yeah. So we have peer groups online. It's cultureacademy.com, and they can sign up, and we all get together monthly. It's a year long, but we only meet for 10 months. We have off in July, heat of the season, and then December for the holidays. But we meet once a month, and we talk about topics based on RE's 4 pillars, which are brand establishment, team building, community impact, and professional development. So these leaders, these company owners, we all get together online, and we meet about these certain topics. And it's we kind of focus towards, no, we don't kind of, we focus towards the small to mid-sized businesses because they make up about 90% of us, right? So we want it to be equitable. So it's $4.99 for a year if you just wanted to have the online access, the virtual meetings where you're there in person, right?
Is that a month or a year?
A
Just
year.
a year. $4.99 a year.
Yeah.
Or we have the second. I know the second pricing option is $6.99 a year. And that's to have the virtual online access, in person, but then you also would get the slides. And if you can't make it, we would send you a recording of the meeting.
And what
So
kind of
really,
companies
we
do you work
start with them in the peer group. We introduce them to each of, we're very much a solution-focused topic each month. And then they get to collaborate with peers. We share some of our tidbits and share some of the resources we have if they want to pursue some of the things that we're sharing, which then might include a course that is asynchronous, coaching, one-on-one coaching, and there's tons and tons of downloadables of different things that we talk about around building accountability, transparency, communication, etc.
Even running your business, protocols, processes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I certainly hope you work with somebody, but do you work with like remodeling contractors? Everybody needs this. So are you open to other businesses other than just like you currently work with, obviously land, tractors and trucks and all that kind of stuff, but are you open to working with other businesses?
Yeah, we have manufacturing clients, we have excavation, we have plumbing, trucking companies. Yeah. So we have a wide variety. I think we have been people have been attracted from the excavation industry because they've seen us go from nothing to a large, very dominated company in our region.
Okay, so you're open to working, because I think this is something all contractors need and they're really not good at. So
100%.
you're open to any kind of independent construction business who's willing to work on themselves, work on their culture, and actually, use personal development as well as, development for the company as something that becomes part of their culture, right?
Yeah, 100%. If we really want to make impact on this industry and really want it to change, we truly are about impact. That's why we're educators, and that's why we've made our stuff very affordable. Rye made a LinkedIn post today and just talked about when we were in education, we had this really great group of collaborative professionals that would, share things online, share things in groups or different peer type things. And everyone just wanted each other to be successful. When we started DW Companies, I asked Steve, I said, where is that space? Like, where do you find that? And he was like, oh, nobody's going to share that. Nobody's going to share their secret sauce. Nobody wants to give their cutting edge. And he's like, nobody will do it. And I said, well, that's just silly because we're all struggling as an industry to find people. And when we all start doing a little better, it's going to be better for all of us because we're not going to have such a struggle in finding people that want to join.
Right. Agreed. So if people want to get a hold of you, how do they find you guys?
Go ahead.
You can go to our website, www.therepurposeeducator.com. We're on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. We have each of us have a personal LinkedIn as well as the Repurposed Educator
YouTube channel.
Yeah.
YouTube channel.
Yep.
And
but also we're so affiliated with DW Companies as well. Really we are a part of them as well. So you can also check out what we're doing within that company at dwcompanies.com.
Or email us at team.
You do like an initial interview or get discovery meeting or something with people to find out if it makes sense?
Yeah. We have like a demo meeting. Yep. That's kind of, I think, like how you found us is you signed up for a demo. So So absolutely.
That's cool. Well, this is something the entire construction industry needs. They all suck at it. No offense. They're not good. So I would recommend that if you're willing to change your culture, and if you're not making money, it's a cultural problem, usually. It's not, it's a people problem. It's not a computer problem. It's not buying new tractors isn't going to fix it, right? Because the same people are running the same tractors, they're just messing them up faster. Cool. So I appreciate you guys being here. Anybody who's willing to improve their culture and their bottom line should give you a call. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.